Great morning, everyone. This is Sunday. This is the Sunday edition of Meet Me in the Morning. My name's Austin. I created a brand called Flashpoint. Your turnaround story starts here. I've been doing this segment probably since the beginning of the month. This is Meet Me in the Morning. It's a way for you to grab some inspiration, to check in with yourself. And I trust that if you stay with this, your life can move in a positive direction very quickly. If something I say moves you, write it down. Maybe share it with a friend who you know needs some uplifting and some inspiration during these times of change and incredible opportunity. Let me jump into that. I'm excited about this topic, and I will give credit where credit is due. This topic was spurred on by this book I'm reading called Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. And it's interesting. I found this guy on social media, and somebody gifted me this book, and I can't remember who gave it to me, but hopefully they'll see this and say, yes, I gave it to you. Let's talk about this. Stillness. Now, even when you're getting this video, gosh, man, what's going on with my hair here? Whoa. When you woke up this morning, did you find stillness? Good morning, Mandy. Good morning, Cheryl. Did you find stillness this morning? Well, it's Sunday, and it's a perfect day to rest, recharge, and refresh. And it's a perfect day to find stillness. Let me jump into the what is stillness and why should you even care? I'm busy. I don't have time for stillness. I barely have time to get my stuff done. I have to. I got so much to do. You have no idea. That's the exact time to build stillness. And if that's you, by the way, that was a drum that I hit for a long time, and I'm learning to be still. And the power that it harnesses is absolutely incredible. And I wrote something that just came through me this morning, and I'm going to share it with you. But let me talk about stillness for a little bit. Let me tell you what it's not. It's not laziness. Stillness is not laziness. What's the difference? Stillness is an intentional act. Laziness is just unconscious drifting and maybe this feeling that you're being lazy. And if you find yourself in that place, setting yourself into an intentional state of stillness can change that. That's how powerful it is. And it doesn't take long, and I'm going to talk about that today. So stillness is an intentional act. What is stillness and why? Why should you discover it as a practice? The definition is it's an absence of movement and sound. Now you may say, well, I hear noise in the environment. I hear stuff. But I think the message here is that it's the stillness inside that we create. I may hear noises, but if I'm still inside and I can grab that stillness inside of me, it's incredibly profound, as Cheryl's saying. It's a profound inversion of self. Is that what you're saying? And if you're just jumping on, check in. Did you get stillness today? I'm going to give you an opportunity by the end of this to get that. So stillness is this void. It's this void of noise and stimulation. But you may have stimulation in the environment. However, you want to create the stillness within you. And as Brian Tracy said, I mentioned this the other day, it's the moments that you feel the most pressure and that you have the most to do is the most when you need stillness. Why? Because this leads me to point number 2, actually, is that when you can step back and create stillness and find your breath, you're going to move from sympathetic mode to parasympathetic mode. When you're in sympathetic mode, it's fight, flight, fright. as we heard Dr. Grant and I talk about that many times, you can slip there. Fight, flight, or fright. Your nervous system gets pulled. You feel. And when you're in that state, the actions that are the fruit of that typically do not produce good results. As a matter of fact, it could make things worse. And I have to sneeze. That sneeze was brought to you by Flashpoint. Got to have fun. Got to laugh. Got to make humor a part of your day. Getting yourself to parasympathetic mode. Stillness is the gateway to that. Let me go back to my first point. It says in the Bible about stillness. It says, be still and know that I am God. That's Psalms 46, verse 10. Be still and know. Thank you. Woohoo! Take a breath there. Let's take a breath right now. I'm just going to stop. Take a breath. Grab a breath right now. Just pause. Take a breath right now. Give yourself the gift of the breath and stillness. You see, because I'm in the middle of talking, but there's no stillness can happen instantly. And that's the point. You could be harried running around. You can stop. Create a practice to get still. Avoid thinking about meditation, all this stuff. Get still. Find your stillness. It can happen in an instant, in a breath. It's one breath away. And you can do this throughout the day. You can grab these moments throughout the day. Make it a practice. One of the things that I do, I've been doing is, of course, I grab moments, but then I've been working on the 10 breath rule. I sit down, I clear my mind, I focus on 10 belly breaths, and I get still. And every time I do it, I'm reminded that I need more of that, because that puts me into my parasympathetic mode, which is rest and digest. I mean, there are two words. It's much deeper than that. But the fruit after that is powerful. What the actions that follow that state of mind are powerful. And the bees and the flies and the whatever. I'm out here with the birds and the bees here on the balcony this morning. Let's get through the rest of this. When you get yourself into a state of stillness and you find your breath, and the way I breathe is I allow my lungs to fill up as much as possible. My belly comes out and I hold it. So, and I typically do what do I do? I do a 1, 4, 2 count. 1, 4, 2. So for example, I'll breathe in on a count of 6. And then I hold that for 24 seconds. And then I release for 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I hold for 6. I breathe in for 6. I hold for 24. And then I release for 12 seconds. That's a 1, 4, 2 count. There's different ways you can work on your breath. And this is powerful because it'll help you tap into, and if you're spiritual like I am, you can be still and know that I am God. And what does that mean? I'm gonna go back to point number 1. I'm jumping around here with you, but let's be still. You're gonna get this. It's gonna flow through. Be still and know that I am God. What does that mean? Even if you're not a faith-based or spirit-based person, when you can sit back and be still, it's an act of faith. It's an act of giving over the things that you cannot control. Be still and know that I am God. That means that there's a greater force at work in the universe that has the things that you can't control taken care of, However, be still. It doesn't say get freaked out. It doesn't say get busy and run around like doing as much as you possibly can. It says be still and know that I am God. And then from that state, you can move forward. And the fruit that comes from that state is better. It could be one act, one small act, one thing. You see, it's one thing, and the way I approach my life now, I'm one move away from that next big thing. And I'm going to do a video on this. I'm going to extend this later, but the balance between presence and progress. Some people say you need progress to be happy. Some people say, oh, you need to be present to be happy. You need both. You need both, just like you need stillness, you need action. Most of the world, and I'm going to read this. I got this great reading for you today. Most of the world is heavily entrenched in either action or laziness, right? Flight or fight. It's just fight or flight. It's just a different variation of it, if you will. So I'm hustling. I'm driving forward from a state of anxiety, or I'm just disconnecting. I'm fight or flight. Stillness is the key that opens up the greater part of you and the fruit that wants to come through. And it's a simple thing. Simple thing. Lives are changed through simplicity, not complexity. And stillness is simplicity. So Psalm, be still, know that I am God. Express your act of faith today. It's Sunday. Most of you are, you have some spirituality or faith-based practice. Trust in the deeper part of you. Trust in what was given to you to come through. Trust. Find that breath again today. Mandy's saying she's a 10, 10, 10. So you count the 10, you hold it in for 10, you release for 10. Beautiful, Mandy. And this is I got bugs, I got birds, I got bees. I can't hop the fence here today because if I hop the fence, I'm going down one floor because I'm on my balcony today. Hopefully you're enjoying this. And I'll talk about nature a little bit. Hopefully the cicadas are not here. And they were up in North Jersey. I've seen them in DC. I had one right next to me. I was in a restaurant yesterday, cicada right on the floor. They're this big. I live right near this beautiful nature area here, and there's no cicadas here. I'm shocked. But anyway, that's another conversation. All right. Now, the other thing that the stillness will do, when you can get your conscious mind, you're basically touching the void. Become nothing, be the void. There's a song. I'll post that maybe later. Become nothing, be the void. And that's where you're getting your conscious mind out of the way. So the deeper part of you can come through, also known as your subconscious or the reticular activating system, which processes billions of bits of information. However, if you're in hyperdrive, your anxiety, you're in fight, flight, or fright, your conscious mind is driving the ship from a state of anxiousness, and you're not making good decisions. Stillness is the key. Stillness is the key. So I'm going to read you a couple things here. I'm going to grab your shares. We'll take another breath, and we're going to have a fantastic day today. We're going to rest. We're going to recharge. We're going to refresh. We're going to find some stillness. We're going to read. We're going to grow. We're going to connect with our loved ones. It's Sunday. That's what it's for. So let me read this for you. Let me read this to you. There's a couple things. I want to read from this book. This is a quote. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present. Heart within and God overhead. That was said by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, talking about stepping into the present moment. And let me share this with you. This is what I wrote down this morning just before I came on. Stillness is bold as it is subtle. It's the gift that is freely available to the masses, but is seldom taken. It's the calming of the noise within us, even when it seems to get louder as we sit to seek our stillness. Today, discover your stillness. Today, be bold. Today, find the void and allow that deeper part of you to come through. Today, discover the stillness within you. It's bold because most people won't do it. Let me grab your shares. Let the dead bury the dead. Let the dead bury the dead. And that's the past. Past is gone. Don't go back there unless you want to reflect and relive a great moment. Grab a lesson. Otherwise, let it go. And again, there goes the intention. If I go back to the past, I'm going to do it with intention and consciousness. I'm not going to do it haphazardly to find the areas that I messed up. You are alive. Excuse me. You are alive. You have the ability to create. And that's the bonus here today, is that when you get yourself in a state of stillness, the mind, there's something that happens with the breath where you start to create. The reticular activating system is accessing not only your brain, it's accessing the universe. And I can say this now because this is not, this stuff is being proven. It's not, it used to be woo-woo stuff. It's not anymore. Science is backing it up. Discover, be bold, stillness within. And by the way, we're having an event July 9th, 10th, and 11th. I got some guest speakers lined up. This is Flashpoint 3.0. If you like this space we're creating, you like the community, you like the content, we're building something special here. And I believe this is going to be an incredible space for people to discover their purpose, to be still, to let that deeper part come through, to be authentic, to get past the superficial living that people live, to get deeper, to get the core of who you are and let it come through. I think a lot of people suffer because they're not themselves. They don't feel free to express themselves. They feel like they have to be something else for everyone else. And stillness is another way to do this. Let me grab your shares here. Have a beautiful day. It already is a beautiful day. The reticular activating system processes billions of bits of information. Touching the void. There's a great song. I'm going to see if I can grab that. Maybe I can play that for you this morning. Yeah, here we go. Be the void. Yeah, it's called Be the. By the way, check in with yourself this morning and what's coming through for you. What do you need? Do you need stillness? As I said, most people, it's a gift freely given. Most people don't do it. Good morning, Michelle. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. When you show up, great things are going to happen. I believe if you show up for these videos, your life will be changed. It's what comes through me. That's what I believe. Okay, I love that touching the void. They're here to you. Yeah, that's the bugs. Okay, we're talking about the bugs. The balance between, I'm going to do another video on this another time. The balance between presence and progress. My take on this is that we need to look at all energies and ask what we most need. And I believe that this stillness is what the masses need, because we can feel like a human doing, right? And stillness is another way to talk about presence. It's stillness creates presence, because when we can still the noise within, we can start to become present and be truly in the moment. And we talked about Psalms. I think it's 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. Yeah, there it is. 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. It's an act of faith. It's an act for you to express your faith and to calm. And let me see if I can grab this song. And all right, I'm going to share that later, because right now what I want to do is I want to offer you a moment of stillness. Because if I'm talking about stillness, but we're not doing it, right? So we're going to do it. So I'm just going to step out for a moment, and I'm going to grab a moment of stillness. I would ask you to do the same thing, and then I'll come back and end it. But I want to say this: throughout the day, stillness is let the conscious mind go. Stillness is the void. And find those moments throughout the day. Maybe set a checkpoint this morning. Maybe you're going to pray. Maybe you go to church. But aside from that, find a checkpoint, a pocket of time. Maybe you're going to do what I do, where you're going to sit down and do the 10 breaths and allow yourself to just be still. Give yourself that gift today. Will you do it? Type in the word still if you're going to give yourself that gift today. Type in the word still. Make a declaration that you're going to find stillness today. You're going to get yourself in a state of parasympathetic rest, digest, refresh. Will you seek the stillness today? Still. Thank you, Cheryl. If you're on the replay, type in the word still. Okay. This is a great question. What if stillness, silence, it just doesn't bring calmness? Still. Well, just like anything else, it's a practice. And the Tao calls it the non-ado. It's like stillness is like doing it without trying to do it. It's just I would start with the breath. And the way I approach it, I'll give you an example. It's a great question, Michelle. The way I approach it is that I trust what shows up. Because stillness is void of resistance. So what I mean is, if I sit down and I start to work on being still, and I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about this. Oh, I'm thinking about that, and I'm not doing it right. Oh, I can't do this. Then the self-talk takes over. Where stillness is observing the self-talk until it dissipates. And it's a practice that is developed over time. And the more pain that you might have, the more difficult it can be to get still. Because there's attachments inside about what we should do, how to do it. That's why the simplest things are the most profound. The word still, it's a 4-letter word, stillness. I'm going to clear my throat. I'm back. So this is a practice. It's not, it doesn't come easy all the time. But if we practice it, and I would start with one breath, one moment of just where there's nothing. And if you get that, like, okay, write it down, make a note of it, and then try again. And it's, when I say try, see, language is hard. It's hard to interpret these things in the universe because it's like words are only so much. So it's like, it's the void. So it's not even like you're trying. You're just, maybe there's an intention, but then there's the void. It's a balance of energy. If I'm going in trying to get it done, that's not the right energy. If I'm like lazy, I'm just unconsciously drifting. It's this. If a noise comes up, honor the noise. I've been in places where I'm working on being still, and just at that time, a giant truck comes by. So what I wrote, if you missed the earlier part of this, when you sit to be still, the noise in the brain might even dial up a notch. Expect it. Expect that when I sit down to be still, the phone's going to ring. Something, my noise in my head's going to come up. Something's going to happen in the environment. Expect it. And then after that, once you allow that, I allow the loud noise to happen. I don't judge it. I allow my brain to kick up. I allow the thoughts to kick up. They're going to pass. But if I fight it and I resist it, I'm moving myself away from stillness, and I'm attached to whatever thought comes up. And the idea is stillness is a detachment from conscious mind. It's a detachment from environmental noise. Stillness is what's deep within. And the only way to get there is to allow. Like when I'm out here, bugs flying, bees flying, cars coming by, technology doesn't work. If I get pissed and I fight that, I'm done. I'm not here for you. So I have to integrate it as a part of what I'm doing. And I want you to do the same thing. So as you sit down to be still, see the birds behind me. As you sit down to be still, expect that it's not going to be perfect. Expect that the mind is going to kick up. Expect a truck's going to go by. Expect someone's going to slam a door. Expect someone's going to yell and go, okay, there it is. And when you can do that, just like there's a quote that I wrote, when you become calm in the storm, you change the storm. When you can be calm in the storm, you change the storm. So let's do it now. I'm going to step aside, and I just want you to, I don't care how it comes out for you, trust what shows up. Say that. I trust what shows up. I'm not attached to it, because whatever shows up is going to go. It's going to pass. This too shall pass. All right, so I'm going to step out of the way here. What I want you to do, actually, you know what? Let me see if I have something here I can share with you. Oh, that would be great. Okay, we're just going to do it. We're going to do it flat out. Take a breath. Allow yourself to be calm. Find a breath that's comfortable for you. Go deep if you can. If not, just flow. Give yourself the gift of stillness. Take another breath. Accept. Allow. One more. Accept. Allow. So I'm back here with you. And the only other thing I would say is to get yourself, you're working to get yourself into parasympathetic mode, which is rest and digest. If you're in sympathetic mode, it's anxiety. It's right. Drive, must, have to, gotta, must, have to, gotta do this, gotta do that. Relax. Your body has a rhythm and a frequency that it runs by. Stillness helps calibrate us. It's a calibration of energy. Do we need to drive sometimes? Do we need to get up and hustle and drive? Yes, we do. But we also need the opposite energy, which is stillness. And many of us are not good at that. That is your gift. That is your opportunity. Find that today. Find your stillness today. God bless you. Remember to stop and breathe multiple times every single day. God bless you. Have a fantastic day. This is Austin. And I got to share this. One more thing. Join us at Flashpoint Live 3.0. Really want you to be there. Here's a little commercial for that. I'm glad you were here today. Find your stillness. I'll see you tomorrow for Meet Me in the Morning. Have a great day, everyone.